Earth is a learning school for every soul. Do our part and depart. Love exists not to comfort the ego, it exists to awaken truth within us. Parents are guardian of the beginning, but not the author of the child's destiny. True giving comes from the heart, not the hand. Divine morning, friends. Welcome to the book session. Today, I'm Krishinaveni Arnasalam from Malaysia, Penang. Would like to share with you on the wisdom on book called The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. Okay, this is the book's friends. The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. Let me introduce the author to every one of you. Kahlil Gibran is a Lebanese American poet, philosopher, artist, and also a writer. He has total written 30 books, 16 books in Arabic language and 14 books in English language. He was born in 1883 and he vacated his body in 1931 at the age of 48. The Prophet was released in 1923. It carries a profound, timeless wisdom in his writing in this book. And for that reason, it has been translated to more than 100 languages, making it one of the most translated books in this history. It contains 28 chapters, and all the chapters is like treasure hunt for all of us friends. It's starting from the coming of the ship, and it's move on love, on marriage, on children, giving, eating, drinking, and eating, work, joy, sorrow, and joy and sorrow, on house, on clothes, on buying and selling, on crime and punishment, on law, on freedom, on reason and passion, on pain, on self-knowledge, on time, on good and evil, on prayer, on pleasure, on beauty, on religion, on death, and finally it's end with the farewell. Okay, let's move on the details of the book. It's starting with chapter 1, the coming of the ship. It introduces us to a character named Al-Mustafa, a wise man. He's an enlightened soul who has lived 12 years in the city of Ophelish, waiting for his ship that will carry him back to his homeland. When the ship finally appears, it marks a moment of deep joy, sadness, loneliness, and fulfillment in Al Mustafa. The essence here, the ship actually is our soul journey. The Ophelis is the earthly life. The sea is the infinite divine consciousness of eternity. Soul is eternal. Life is earth is temporary. Earth is a learning school for every soul. Do our part and depart. The next chapter, we move on the love is a divine call. It's complex and multifaceted. Love purifies through joy and pain. Love seeks surrender, not control. Love makes us instrument of life's purpose. Love is our own reward. It's not only the source of happiness, but also the force of transformation. Love is the soul's true nature. In essence, love is the divine energy that shapes the soul. Thus, it helps us to grow even when it hurts, live to reveal, and frees to transform. Love exists not to comfort the ego, it exists to awaken truth within us. To love deeply is to accept both joy and pain, growth and surrender. Love gives but also challenge. It crowns and crucifies, not to harm but to refine the heart. To accept love is to accept the path of awakening. Chapter 3, we are moving on marriage. Marriage is a union of souls, not the blending of selves. Togetherness must contain space, intimacy, and independency. Love flows freely when not possessed. Stand together, yet not too near. Each person must nourish their own inner life. Love in marriage is shared path, not a single footstep. Marriage is sanctuary for growth. In essence, marriage is a sacred union of two whole individuals. Love flourishes when there is a togetherness with space, unity with freedom. Marriage is meant to support mutual growth, not possession or control. It's a dance of two souls, moving in harmony while honoring each other's uniqueness. When individuality is preserved, love deepens and becomes enduring. Chapter 4 is on children. Children come through us, not from us. Children belonging to life itself. Love them deeply, but not bind them. Parents are the bow, children are the arrow. Give roots, but also give wings. The soul of child has its own timeless wisdom. Parenting is a sacred responsibility, not ownership. In essence, children are souls on their own divine journey. Parents are guardians of the beginning, but not the author of the child's destiny. True parenting means loving without attachment, guiding without domination, and trusting the intelligence of life unfolding through the child. The next chapter is on giving. True giving comes from the heart, not the hand. Give because you are full, not because another is empty. Giving should be free of expectation. Give with joyful. Giving is the nature of every soul. In essence, give from your fullness with love, joy, and freedom. Let your giving be flow of love, free from pride, fear, and expectation. Giving is a moment of love in action. When the self loosens its grip, life flows through us more freely. Giving becomes a spiritual practice of trust and openness. Real generosity flows naturally from inner abundance. The next chapter is on eating and drinking. Eating and drinking are sacred acts. All sustenance is part of the greater cycle. Gratitude transforms nourishment, balance, and mindful eating prevent excess eating. Eating is an act of communion. Joy should accompany nourishment. In essence, eating and drinking is not merely a physical act, but a sacred exchange with life. Food is the earth offering itself to us, and gratitude transforms nourishment into a spiritual act. When we eat with awareness, we honor both the giver and the receiver. Eating is a communion with existence. When done consciously, it strengthens not only the body but also awareness and humility. The act of eating becomes a prayer of participation in the great cycle of life. Respect all life in every form of existence. The next chapter, chapter 7, is on work. Work is love made visible. Work is part of self realization. Without work, we drift away from our own life. Working without love is like doing violence to yourself. Every form of work serves the whole. Work is prayer in motion. In essence, work is love made visible, a way for human being to express creativity, purpose, and connection to life. When work is done with dedication, it becomes a form of worship. Work is the soul expressing its love and joy. Work aligns body, mind, and soul. Hand move, mind focus, heart flows, and the self become whole. When you build outside awakens what you are within. Chapter 8 is on joy and sorrow. Like two sides of the same coin, sorrow deepens our capacity for joy. Joy often comes wrapped in sorrow. Both joy and sorrow are messengers. Do not seek to escape sorrow nor cling to the joy. Transformation lies in balance. So, in essence, joy and sorrow are inseparable messenger of the soul. To embrace both fully is to live deeply, to grow spiritually, and to participate in the sacred rhythm of life. The next chapter, chapter 9, is on houses. Houses are more than shelter. Let your home reflect your inner self. Houses are temporary, but the spirit within them endures. House must fill with warm love, compassion, and understanding. In essence, a house is more than stone and wood. It is a sanctuary of the soul. Let it be simple, harmonious, and filled with love so that both dweller and visitor feel nurtured, grounded, and at peace. Chapter 10 is on clothes. Clothes are veil between you and the world. Clothes as an extension of fear and modesty. Clothes as symbol of transformation. The soul remains unclothed. Simplicity is more noble than extravagant. Clothes should serve you, not rule you. In essence, clothes should never distract from your true self. The soul is already complete and needs no covering. So garments should remain simple tools, never masks, never measure of worth. As awareness deepens, the need to impress or hide diminishes. Inner nakedness is your honesty, humility, presence, and righteousness is the soul's nature state. Clothes may cover the body, but only truths reveal the person. The next, chapter 11, is on buying and selling. Buying and selling must be in holy, not to greed. Fairness is spiritual necessity, not just an economic one. Desire should guide trade, not hunger or fear. Money is not evil, it's an energy. In essence, trading are sacred, mutual giving, not exploitation. They must arise from love, honesty, and desire to serve one another. But when trade becomes driven by greed or inequality, the spirit of exchange dies. Without dignity, commerce becomes empty and even harmful. With dignity, it becomes a form of right relationship, the meeting of trust and responsibilities as, as a whole. Buy with respect, sell with honesty, and let trade be a meeting of hand and heart, not a battle of desire. The next is on crime and punishment. The criminal is part of us. Even wrongdoing arises from deeper longing. Justice begins with self reflection. Compassion is not weakness, it is a wisdom. The innocent and the guilty is intertwined. The highest judge is the conscious of the soul. In essence, crime is not an act separate from society, but is a reflection of it. The wrongdoer is not an isolated sinner, but one shaped by the collective fears, inequality, and the unconsciousness of the people around him. In judging the criminal, we are also judging a hidden part of ourselves. Punishment should never arise from anger or revenge. True justice does not seek to hurt the offender, but to awaken understanding, restore balance, and heal the deeper cause of wrongdoing. True justice awakens awareness, restores harmony, and heals the hidden root of the wrongdoing. The next chapter, chapter 13, on laws. Laws are reflection of human consciousness. The highest law is love. Freedom precedes obligation. Laws are temporary. Principles are eternal. Suffering often teaches the true law. In essence, true law is not something imposed from outside, but something that already lives within the human heart. Law are meant to protect inner freedom, not replace inner wisdom. When people obey laws only out of fear, they lose their connection to justice. When they live by inner awareness, laws become gentle guides rather than chain. Law is a shadow of collective consciousness. When love, awareness, and responsibility rise within individuals, law naturally becomes lighter, simpler, and more human. A society rooted in inner discipline needs less outer control. The next chapter, chapter 14, is on freedom. Freedom is an inner state, not external. Freedom and love coexist. Attachment creates bondage. In essence, freedom is not merely the removal of chain, rules, or authority. True freedom is inner liberation, freedom from fear, attachment, ego, jealousy, self, lack of empathy, and unconscious desire. Freedom is alignment with one's true nature. When the soul is awake, outer conditions lose their power to enslave. Freedom is not rebellion, it is the remembrance of who you truly are. The next chapter, chapter 15, on reason and passion. Reason guides, passion moves. The soul needs both. Reason is the compass and passion is the flame of the soul. In essence, reason and passion are two sacred forces meant to work together. Reason gives direction and clarity. Passion provides energy and life. When reason rules alone, life becomes dry and mechanical. When passion dominates without reason, life turns chaotic and destructive. Reason is the light of the mind and passion is the fire of the heart. When unite, they awaken higher consciousness. This harmony is wholeness, where intellect serves love and desire serves wisdom. Chapter 16 on pain. Pain is the fog of the soul. Pain leads to deeper understanding. Pain is temporary and transformative. Pain is intertwined with joy. Spiritual awakening often comes through suffering. In essence, pain is not enemy but teacher. It is the breaking open of what is hard within us, allowing deeper awareness and growth. Pain reveals hidden truth, dissolves illusion, and prepares the soul for higher understanding of life, shaping the soul into its fullest form. When accepted with awareness, pain transforms into wisdom and compassion. Pain is the cracking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Chapter 17 is on self knowledge. Self knowledge is the root of all wisdom. Self discovery required honesty and courage. Inner reflection leads to freedom. Soul speaks through silence. Self knowledge nurtures compassion. In essence, he who knows himself truly has found the wellspring of life. Self knowledge is not found by searching outward, but by listening inward. You do not discover your truth, you remember it. When mind grows quiet, the soul reveals what it has already known. To know yourself is to stand in the light without fear and disgust. Chapter 14 on freedom. Freedom is an inner state, not external. Freedom and love coexist. Attachment creates bondage. In essence, freedom is not merely the removal of chain, rule, or authority. True freedom is inner liberation, freedom from fear, attachment, ego, jealousy, selfishness, lack of empathy, and unconscious desire. Freedom is alignment with one's true nature. When soul is awakened, outer conditions lose their power to enslave. Freedom is not rebellion, it is a remembrance of who you truly are. The next chapter, chapter 18 on teaching. Teaching are guides, not owner of truth. Teaching is an act of love. Knowledge cannot be forced. The teacher learns from the student. Teach in a way that empowers, not confines. In essence, true teacher does not pour knowledge into the student, but awaken what already lives within them. Teaching is not an act of authority, but a guidance. The teacher walks with the learner. pointing towards truth, not standing above them. Teaching is sacred relationship. When the teachers serve mirror reflection, the learner owns potential. True teaching nurtures freedom, curiosity, and inner authority rather than dependency. Chapter 19 is on friendship. Friendship is a meeting of soul. Friendship is foster inner growth. Friendship embrace joy and sorrow. Friendship deepest connection felt in silence, understanding, presence, and shared energy. Friendship is a deep meeting of soul, not relationship based on need, use, or possession. A true friend does not feel your empathy but support your wholeness. Friendship is about shared silence, mutual growth, and freedom. It's sacred bond where two souls walk side by side towards truth. In truth, friendship, love is free, silent, not demanding or controlling. Let there be space in togetherness. In that space, friendship will grow. Chapter 20 on talking. Words are echoes of heart. Silence is part of true speech. Speak only when your word improve the silence. Talking can unite or divide. Speech, the truth, laughter, comfort, and understanding with sincerity and respect. In essence, talking is sacred when it is guided from the soul, and silence is sacred of the soul. Speech is the language of personality. Stay silent when speech would dilute the truth. Let your word be born of your quiet depth. Speak not to escape your heart, but to reveal what your heart has found. Chapter 21 on time. Time is a human arrangement, not a cosmic truth. Time speeds up or slows down based on the state of the soul. Time is not an external force but the inner dimension. Love is proof that time is an illusion. Time is ultimately mirror of or reflection the state of the soul, shaped by our awareness and illuminated by the timeless self within. Past, present, and future are not truly separate. They live together within the eternal now. The soul does not move in straight line of time. It moves in depth and awareness. When the mind quiets, the awareness deepens, the soul experiences a dimension where time dissolves, present becomes the doorway to eternal as now is where life truly lives. On good and evil, chapter 22. Good and evil are not opposite. They are different level of awareness. In essence, good is the soul expressing itself clearly. Evil is the same soul expressing itself through shadow and distortion. Good and evil are teachers in your spiritual evolution. The task is not to defeat darkness, but to awaken. Chapter 23 on prayer. Most people turn to prayer only when suffering. Prayer is meant to be content inner attitude, not an emergency ritual. In essence, prayer is not an act of asking, but an alignment of consciousness with the universal flow of divine energy. It is the soul awakening of the inner self to the divine flow, the subtle energy that animates and connects all life. Through prayer, the mind becomes still, the heart opens, and the soul turns into higher frequency of awareness. It is communion that transcends from the word, where the individual merges with the universal. In this state, prayer is not about seeking, but about remembering of who you truly are. Chapter 24 on pleasure. Pleasure is the song of the soul when it touches the beauty of life. In essence, pleasure is holy when it arises from inner harmony. Pleasure is harmful when used as escape from the self. True pleasure is reflection of the soul's freedom, not the ego's hunger. The highest pleasure is joy. spawn of soul. By purifying and deepening the pleasure, it becomes a doorway to spiritual awakening. The next chapter, chapter 25, on beauty. Beauty as a field of consciousness and not an object. In essence, beauty is a vibration of frequency of the consciousness that resonates with the soul. It acts as a mirror, reflecting the essence of the self and revealing the inner nature of the observer. When we cultivate awareness and purify the mind to perceive beauty in all things, our consciousness expands. Life itself becomes a reflection of the soul's light, showing the beauty is not separate from us. It is the reconnection of our own divine essence in every moment and being. Experiencing beauty in this way awakens higher awareness, harmony, and deep sense of unity with existence. The next chapter, chapter 26 on religion. Religion is not the robe or tradition you wear, but the naked sincerity of your inner being. In essence, true religion is not something you search from outside, but it is the light you awaken within. Love, peace, and unity are its only real teaching. When you look deep into your own heart, you discover that the divine was never separate from you. Chapter 27 is on death. Death can only be understood through deepened life. Death is not the opposite of life, but it's a hidden dimension. In essence, soul is eternal. Every death is a return. Physical death is not an end, but a transformation, a shift in the form of consciousness. The soul moves through cycle of the rest and rebirth. Each experience as expanding its awareness and deepening its understanding of existence. This cycle are opportunities for growth, learning and widening our soul's horizon. Through this perspective, life and death are seen as continuous process of evolution, where the soul gradually awakens to its true infinite nature and it's unite with universal consciousness. And finally, we come to the farewell. Departure is continuation, not ending. The farewell shows that true teaching is not about possession or dependence, but about awakening wisdom in others. In essence, farewell is the moment where external guidance dissolves into inner knowing. The outer world withdraws so that the soul's own intelligence rises. What appears as separation on the surface, in truth, integration at a deeper level. When the outer voice grows silent, the inner truth begins to speak. There are no final farewells, only transformation. The soul moves in cycle of rest and return. It's a widening of soul's horizon. Overall essence, the proper is a guide to life, offering deep reflection on love, joy, and sorrow, freedom, self-knowledge, and human spirit. Its core essence is the awakening of soul, encouraging the reader to live consciously, embrace both light and shadow, and recognize the divine within themselves in all of life. It teaches that true wisdom comes from understanding, compassion, and harmony with the rhythm of existence, rather the rigid rules or external authority. Ultimately, it's a call to inner liberation, love, and the realization of our interconnectedness with all being. And truth is not tough, it's simple, it is awakened within. The prophets gently remind us that you are already whole. Life is guiding you back to your true self. Okay. Friends, that's all from me from the book called The Proper. My sincere gratitude to Kahlil Gibran for giving us this wisdom. Pradeep Vijay sir, BEHF team, thank you very much. And now we shall open for questions.